On August 29th, 2005, Hurricane Katrina unleashed its shocking destruction on the Gulf Coast region. Areas hit were Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. But the most severe property damage and loss of life occurred in New Orleans, putting 80% of the Crescent City underwater. Due to extremely slow recovery efforts, at least 1,836 people lost their lives in Hurricane Katrina. In many areas, flood waters rose as high as 25 feet. This tragedy was caused by a failed levee system. Fast forward 2 years later to 2008. Life in New Orleans is far from normal. Schools, hospitals, libraries, even bus service all remain limited. After destroying 200,000 Gulf Coast homes and displacing about 1 million people, the demand for housing assistance remains high. Economist Lauren Scott said there are a multitude of factors that aid to the slow recovery. Katrina wrecked 182,000 homes in New Orleans alone, but only 41,000 housing recovery checks have been issued to homeowners by the federally funded Road Home program.
My name is Tyra Sims. I'm from New Orleans. I'm here at 8220 Lamont Road, New Orleans, Louisiana, 70126. 2006 was Hurricane Katrina. Most houses went through floods, and my house, you can see, did go under flood, and my house is unlivable at this time. Right now, I'm talking to you, and it's 2008. I hired a contractor to really do my whole house. He started with the roof, and you may be able to see later that my roof has been, replaced, and they still have a little minor trimming to do to the roof. I also had to have the inside of my house renovated. And a story about that is that I actually paid the contractor to go ahead and start doing the renovations to my house. And unfortunately, you can see that he really haven't completed his job. I have, called him several times. I have not received any phone calls from him yet. He haven't answered any of my calls. And I'm not able to come back home right now. So right now I'm going to have to go through some legal processing of trying to retrieve my funds back from him. And yes, I did give him a deposit of $25,000, which I am trying to retrieve from him now.
After restoring about 66% of the population, many displaced residents have not returned to New Orleans. The visible devastation is an indication that there is still a lot of work that needs to be done to bring New Orleans back to life. Let me ask you this. What do you feel needs to be done for a permanent recovery after Hurricane Katrina?
Need more jobs, man. A lot of people are still homeless, trying to find a place to live here in the city. And rent is extremely high. For a 2-bedroom, it's $1,180. For a 3-bedroom, is over $1,500. For somebody who's just getting back in the city with a job, they could never put a deposit on that. I mean, FEMA didn't do a whole lot for a lot of people. For me, it's one. FEMA did nothing for me, man.
Basically, when the storm hit, my family lost everything. So, and my grandfather stayed during the storm for 5 days. We have a 2-story house. We stayed across the canal. And on the second floor, they had about 3 feet of water. So he had a boat. So he would save people across the street that was stuck in the attic, cut people out their roofs. He had about 10 people in the house for like 3 days, and he stayed 2 extra days till the water receded to about 5 feet, so he can get out. And Road Home, he really haven't received anything. He got his statement that he was be able to get his money for about like 4 months ago. They haven't done it yet. FEMA didn't do anything for him. Hardly. So, and now it's just real stressful. I mean, I had to graduate in Mississippi,
Katrina changed me because in the whole disaster part of all of it, you know, I lost family members. I've lost my mom. It's actually going on 3 years she's been gone. And I mean, I was working before Katrina. We got this place. We were split up all of my family was pretty much split up all across the United States. It was hard for us to keep in touch with each other. I got back from where I was, and it was hard for me to find a job, to come back and find a job. You know, everybody had certain requirements, and when you try to get a job down here in New Orleans, it's basically the people give jobs to people that they know. If they don't know you, you know, it's hard for you to get a job down here. And now, I wouldn't actually say things well, it's true, things are worse than what they were before. You know, now I live across the street from here, and I have to actually sit out on my porch late at night and watch people pass around. They steal things around there, you know, stuff like that. Before that, we didn't have that to worry about. You know, they're going in people's houses, they're taking stuff, and I'm afraid they might come in my house and take my stuff, or come in my house to try to harm me, or mess with my neighbors. I mean, before Katrina, we had that, but it wasn't as major as it is now. You know, and that's pretty hard for me.
About a month from now, FEMA talking about taking the trailers from people. I mean, people don't have nowhere else to go. They have the Lafourche trailer. When they take that, they're going to have so many homeless people in New Orleans, going to be ashamed. They already have a lot of homeless now. And on the St. Claude, there's the Claiborne Bridge. The Claiborne Bridge is so ridiculous. They talking about they got a tent. I still see you got about 50 people still outside or more, easily. And this, when they kick people out these FEMA trailers, I don't know what's going to happen.
Crime is so much high right now, man, but the military has presented a positive presence since they've been around. They pass through this neighborhood daily, you know, keep the bad elements down. But right around the corner is a metal scrap place, and in this area, as far as back as you could see, is houses. So people are going in those houses, taking the people as they're rebuilding, and they go home, you know, after a day's work or doing on their house, they come back, all their wiring gone, all their copper gone, you know. And that's basically why I have this firearm in front of me right now, because I'm tired. I don't want them to come in my house, you know, because I work every day. I work hard. And I'm trying to get my life back to normal as I can without FEMA's help, you know, or any government assistance help, you know. But crime is really bad right now. There's a lot of young boys out here walking around 13, 10, 11 years old carrying guns, you know. Man, I don't even feel safe standing in front of my door without my gun in front of me, man. And that's why I'm here. Crime.
The storm is estimated to have been responsible for $81.2 billion in damages, making it the costliest natural disaster in U.S. history. As you can see, I'm standing in one of the gutted out homes of the Hurricane Katrina victims. It has been 2 years and many contractors still have not made good on their promise, and many people are still looking for homes and shelter. The federal government has allotted $4.1 billion in aid, but only $1 billion has been spent. As we can see, people are still piecing their lives together. Crime is at an all-time high, and people are still losing their homes and can't afford to come back to the areas that they once lived. In New Orleans, Reflections News, Rafael Gentry.